Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 67 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast. The podcast where we sometimes cry, we always laugh, we might get a bit ratchet, but we're forever going to break it down. All right, guys, this week my guest is the BFF, the homie, KG. Somehow we briefly chatted about our respective standums. That wasn't even on our topic list, nowhere on there, but you guys know who the fuck I stand for. You'll find out who KG stands for in this conversation. And we also chatted about all of the news about all of the recent TV and movie reboots. I kind of joked Kenny because he seemed to be excited about one in particular, and I was not sure why. So we talk about this new wave in Hollywood and some other hot topics. So stick around for that conversation. I'm gonna switch it up this week, and my Boonies pick of the week might kind of end up being more of a little short story time with Boonie, but the pick of the week this week is just really when you can live in the moment and be present and honor the intuition, like what your gut is saying. And so Saturday morning, I finally got my fat ass up and I made it to yoga. I had been trying to get there. I've just been so busy. And so I go. And I was on the phone with my mom before I was heading out the house. And she was like, didn't you say you had to go to the bank? And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, all right, let me run to the bank first. And then I'll head to yoga. So I go to the bank and I took out some money to get my hair done because I needed cash. And so I took out like $420, not all for my hair, but I just took out some cash and it was all in 20s. Okay. All in $20 bills. So keep that in mind. So I'm driving, I'm singing, whatever. I'm almost to the yoga studio now, left the bank. And since it's been one of the few days this summer where it was gorgeous and sunny and no rain, I had the windows down, the sunroof open, just soaking in all the sunshine. And I get to an intersection in Baltimore that it's pretty common with having, panhandlers and beggars or whatever. So the one who had the sign and looked a little haggard never even came over to my car. And all of a sudden the light just seemed extra long. And I'm like, what the hell? So out of nowhere, this guy, he just looked like a guy walking down the street, right? And he walks straight to my car. And he didn't have a sign. He had a cup. And he was like, I didn't even turn my music down. And he's like, do you have some change? And I'm like, no, I don't have no change. And he said, well, do you have a 20? And I start laughing and smiling. And I'm like, I definitely don't have that. And he's like, oh, okay. And he was like, you have a gorgeous smile. And he put his fist like in my window to fist bump. And I see he has on a wedding ring, like he's married. And so I wasn't afraid. I fist bumped him back. And he was like, all right, you have a bomb ass day. Like literally, that's what he said. And he walked right back across the street. So he doesn't go to any other cars. He doesn't ask anyone else for money. He just really walked across the street and kind of disappeared. The light turned green. And I go on about my way. And I just kind of smiled. Like that was a very pleasant exchange with, a beggar, which I normally don't have. And so I go to yoga, do everything there. And I don't know if it was the meditations, the introspection that happened within yoga, that when I left, I'm driving home and I thought about that exchange again. And I was like, shit. Okay. Shit. And I was like, I should have gave that man $20. Because I just said I went to the bank and I had $420 in my wallet, all in $20 bills. And so when I look back at that, I was like, what if that was the universe sending me a sign, right? And you guys are probably like, oh my God, Boonie, you were thinking way too deep. But follow my train of thought. Like, so I was just sitting here like, you had it, right? You were going to use this for your hair. It was for earmarked for something else. But what if that was like the universe coming to me? If he went straight from, do you have change to do you have $20? And I said no. But I did. And so I'm thinking like, as I was driving, I was like, fuck, I should have given the $20 because maybe that was the universe saying, give me 20 and I will give back to you so abundantly you don't even know how, right? And I didn't do it. And so I was like, fuck, what if that's what that was? Like, shit. And I started second guessing myself a bit. Like, fuck. And so later I was like, you know what, Adrian, just go online somewhere and make a $20 donation to, somewhere. Just make a $20 donation. And so, of course, I got busy, got behind in my schedule, got sidetracked. I didn't do it. So then later, I'm doing errands for my grandfather. And he's like, "Oh, can you pick up my dry cleaning?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'm going to pick it up." And so I go get to the cleaner. I'm thinking he's already paid for it, right? And he had not. And so I had to go. And of course, his dry cleaning was $20. And so here it is. I'm like, I was already out of $20. So again, I don't know if these were coincidences, but I still went and made a $20 donation because I just felt like the universe asked me for $20. That's all it asked me for, with a smile, and I did not give it. And so I keep pondering on this story, and I wrote it down in my journal because I feel like that was just something deeper there versus just a beggar asking me for money, because he just walked right away. He didn't ask anybody else. And I felt like that was a message that was just for me. And so I am curious, do you guys have these incidences? Blah, 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 blah. That sounded terrible. But do you guys ever have a situation where you look back at it and it was so simple that then you're like, shit, did I miss a message? Did I miss a touch point that the universe was sending to me and to me only? And I'm fucking around like, no, I'm not giving you $20, right? And that's all that was required of me. And I had more than enough 20s in my wallet at the time. So that is Boonie's Pick of Week, to just be present, being present, and being aware of what's happening around you and what the universe is trying to do with you as much as possible. So I am still going, as I'm recording this now, I just made a note in my phone to make this $20 donation because I'm not going to let the moment pass me by again. So yeah, let me know. I'd be curious. DM me like you guys always do. I would love to know if you guys have ever experienced something similar. All right, so let's get into this housekeeping for the week. The feedback from episode 66 with Conjette Farrell was great. I received a lot of amazing messages from single women, single men, married folk, of just about how on point the tips and the knowledge that Conjette was sharing. One married woman even said, "For my single ladies, this therapist dropped so many gems. You need to listen to this now." And I took away a few things that I myself can even apply to other areas of my life. So I am so thrilled that you guys loved that episode. You guys really shared it, and you really just tied into the content that we discussed in that episode, in episode 66. So if you have not checked that out, go back and listen to it. The episode is titled "Finding the Love You Deserve." Okay. So Conjette just goes over some of the things. And I think the one thing she was saying for me was when she was talking about the haphazard dating. And I'm like, what is haphazardly dating? And when she broke that down and talked about women who, are still have these delusional ideas of what dating is. Yeah, she broke that shit all the way down. And that's what we love doing here on the Boonie Breakdown. Again, you guys are just so dope. Thanks for buying the merchandise. If you keep saying, "Oh shit, I forgot, I want to get it," here's another code. You can save 10% on your orders over $20 using the code Boonie10, Boonie, and then 10. The code expires Monday, August 12th. So you have another week to grab anything that you want to do. I heard the request about V-neck shirts. Okay. Maybe when the tanks phase out, once summer's gone, maybe I'll swap in some V-neck shirts there, or a crew neck or something, to give you some variety. So go ahead and grab your Home I Stay Responsible and Ratchet tees and tanks. And I really do love you guys for the support. Again, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us on Twitter, Boonie Breakdown. And when sharing the episode on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown or the hashtag PODIN, PODIN. If you don't like hashtags, I don't know why, you can always tag us. I love seeing those because I like to share them. So if you, especially in the Instagram stories, if you put us there, I always reshare those when you do it. So that's it for me, guys. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and this week I have the homie. Hey Kenny.
What up? What it do?
Welcome to season 4.
No, it took too long to get on here.
I'm sorry, I'm booked and busy now.
Yeah, I told you you're a full celebrity, so I'm like low on the totem pole now. So
Never.
I fit in where I can.
But guess what? My August horoscope, because I read them, it said that in some eclipse or whatever, I'm gonna become a household name.
Okay.
That's kind of scary though.
That is slightly.
Like that's the one thing too. Like I think it's like it would be amazing to be rich, to have the freedom to like do the shit like I would want to do and go where I want to go and buy the things I want to buy. But fame is something I really never really want.
No, I can take being rich. I just don't. I would never want to be a celebrity.
No. Cause like I just don't know how they live like that. And I think about it in the sense of people who like, and I'll even use myself as an example. Like even with Rihanna, like I swear I know her, right? We're friends. Like I know like if we ever met, like we would just become friends. Like I know it, right? And that's crazy. Like I know that's crazy. And I'm so invested in her life that it's like it's scary to think if you were that person to have millions of people
Yeah, like could you
just
imagine
invested.
like if you were Rihanna and you had somebody posting about you like on the amount that you do? Like you would be
I mean,
freaked
it's
out.
just every Friday. Like I'm not
Yeah.
even as bad as her fan accounts.
I feel like you're consistently every Friday, but you pepper her in at least maybe once a day
When
in
a bit
some form or
wait
fashion,
a minute. How do I do once a day?
either on Twitter and or Instagram. There's some mention of Rihanna,
I,
and
I, I'm gonna disagree with you with that.
oh,
If you said maybe every other day, I'd be like,
okay,
okay,
all right.
maybe.
My
But
bad, my bad.
every
Such
day,
such such a difference. It's,
it is. Like she just did the whole British Vogue cover, and I literally have not even posted about it.
that's because it's not Friday and you're holding it. You mean?
I literally like I know I said this last week in Booney's pick of the week. Like I literally will be on the toilet, like my legs have gone numb. And it's literally because I'm probably scrolling through Beyonce or Rihanna fan pages.
Like there's just nothing. I just don't know. I don't have that type of love for any celebrity that I can sit that long. Like you are committed. I will say that
I
you're
am.
very
And
committed.
I'm saying this like when the new Fenty music drops, she announces her tour. I'm hoping she brings back the meet and greet because Sheikah and I are in there.
Okay, so like, what is your cap that you would pay? Like, what is like? How much would you take out of your 401k?
Okay, so I have levels to this, right?
Okay, let's hear
So
it.
like for like a concert meet and greet backstage hug, take a picture, I would probably spend 500 to $750 on that.
Okay, so you're not going to be able to afford that.
I mean,
Okay,
I could pay that.
but what I'm saying is that I'm sure it's going to be way more than that.
That's what I'm saying. No, let me backtrack that. That's like if I go to the website and that's what it was listed as, it would be no question like card information done, right? It wouldn't even be a thought.
Okay,
Now, where I thought about taking money out of my 401k for, and Sheik and I had Sheik and I had talked about this last year for Rihanna's Diamond Ball, which she does every year. Last year was the first year they had it in New York, right?
okay,
And so I had literally, okay, I'm really showing my crazy now, and this is because I love y'all. I had literally drafted an email to see how much it would cost to sponsor a table, right? And I was like, okay, if the table seats 8 people and they say it's $10,000, I think I could find 8 people who would be willing to pay the money to be in the room with those people. Like Beyonce was there, Dave Chappelle, Rihanna, Jay-Z. Like it wasn't even just Rihanna. Like I think that was worth it.
okay. So you would.
So yes, I would spend I don't see me going over 1,500.
Okay. Okay. So that's your cap, basically
Yeah.
15. Okay.
But
Hmm.
like these are the things that this is what we thought. And they responded back politely, like, oh, at this time, all of our available sponsored tables are whatever.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be in like the know.
I'm sure you have to be invited.
Yeah. Like they don't
But
just
I
want regular sponsors. Like if you're going to a Kappa Ball or something like that, like like they they want legit people. Not to say like the Boonie Breakdown is not a legit
look,
organization.
I have an LLC, okay? I
But I don't.
literally like I didn't even expect a response back. Like I just thought they were gonna be like, oh no. But they sent a very polite, respectable response back, and I appreciated it.
Well, I mean, there are times that you will get responses back from these people. Like I reached, I feel like I told you this. I reached out to Bruno to see if he would sing at the wedding. Um,
You did.
his people responded and said that unfortunately he was booked for the time, but enjoy your wedding and have a good time. I'm sure it wasn't Bruno Mars, but it was somebody.
Yeah, like
Um,
I still think that goes a long way. That touch point to just even say, we acknowledge the receipt of this outrageous request.
I even offered to pay for Bruno's room at the resort.
Oh, look at you. Okay,
Yeah,
now your resort was a nice resort, so you would have had to get him a suite. And look at you. That'd have been
I
some thousands.
I would have figured it out. I have no idea how, but I mean, for that type of experience, like how could I not?
Yeah.
But I had levels too. Where I was asking. I went Bruno, I went John Legend, and then I went Brian McKnight. Now you
Oh.
would expect Brian McKnight's people to respond quickly and say, "Oh yeah, how much you gonna pay?" Nah, I didn't hear nothing back.
And was
I
this
didn't.
before or after Show Me How Your Pussy Works?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I can't remember how long ago was that.
Let me see. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
had
I
to
would
been
expect his people to respond immediately.
no. The only people I got a response back from was Bruno.
Wow, that was like right before. No, that was before Treasure or around Treasure.
Yeah, that
What
was
was that
that was
album? I can't think. I know you're staying. Go ahead.
that was Hooligans. That was around Hooligans time because I was 13. So I mean, yeah, that was early Bruno.
Oh, this was that your wedding was post Brian McKnight Show Me How Your Pussy Works. Yeah,
Ooh,
that
man,
was in 2012.
man.
Shit,
Well,
time flies.
yeah, yeah.
And also, guys, like Kenny has just reached a major milestone. He just celebrated, and he's like literally about to go away to celebrate this 5 years of marital bliss.
Whew, man.
We made it.
We made it. We made it. We made it. We're here.
And yes, I
5 years.
said we. I'm a part of this. I'm so invested, like so invested. And if you were at the live show in my drunkenness, actually, like Kenny kind of like yelled at me afterwards. In my drunkenness, I must have said, shout out to Martel. I must have said, I will cut a bitch if y'all break up my happy home. And I really mean it. Like, I really do love Kenny and his wife.
I mean, it was just kind of like really aggressive. Like I just felt like it was. I
I
feel like
needed these trick assholes to know.
but all of those people were upstanding citizens that were at your live show, and we would invite them back.
Buy a ticket for the next one. Date will
Exactly.
come soon. All right. So today on Twitter, I love Twitter. I really just don't even know. Like, I think this would be one of the hardest social media for me to walk away from because it's just
I've
like, it's how
I've
I stay in the know on a lot of things.
I've said that if Twitter started charging like a subscription fee, which from a business perspective, I think they should. Say if Twitter charged like $7 a month, I'd pay $7 a month for Twitter.
I, I I absolutely would. I mean, I would consider it just like Netflix and Spotify. Like, fuck it.
I don't think I would pay for any other social media app.
I would definitely say fuck you, Facebook.
Yeah.
The only other one, I guess, like This is tough.
I think
Like if I
you
were
would
to
pay
pay a
for
subscription
Instagram
for social,
just for,
maybe Instagram
yeah, you would pay
or
because you connect with the Boonie Breakdown.
yeah,
But
like it part
if
of our
you
business.
if yeah, if you didn't have like a brand or anything like that, like I don't think you would pay for Instagram.
I don't because the thing is, like, I can't control. Even though I have a personal page, I don't post on that as often as I used to because I can't. I can't manage to.
Yeah,
But it's stuff on there I like to post that I won't post on Boonie Breakdown. And people always also yell at me, and we're like digressing. We're going to loop back, but like people also kind of yelled at me, like, "Oh, why didn't you just convert your personal one into your Booty
oh, the
Breakdown?"
brand.
And I hate when people do that because, like, I signed up to follow you. I didn't
Yeah,
sign up to follow your business ventures. Like, I just think you should always give people the choice to opt in to whatever it is. And by switching your page over, I just don't feel like I feel like you take your people's choice away. And I know for me, when people do that to me, where it used to be pictures of your husband and your kids and your vacations, and now it works and all this
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Like I didn't sign up for that, so
Block.
I unfollow.
Yeah, like this is spam. Like
Yeah.
report the account. Yeah,
So this way, it's like you chose to follow the Booty Breakdown separately apart from my personal page. But anyway, yeah, I would probably pay for Instagram. But I really still fuck with Pinterest on the low.
yeah. Pinterest is good for like food
Yeah, it's
and
like
like
Googling like home
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yes, I still fuck with Pinterest. I really do really, really enjoy that one. But
But I
I mean,
think that's
without a
another topic.
doubt, I would just totally just link my PayPal to Twitter if they started charging
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But
definitely would.
on there today, I'm ready to joke Mr. Kenneth here because Variety tweeted the popular 80s TV show Alf
Yes.
is getting rebooted by Warner Brothers. And so I retweeted it and said, "Who the fuck wants to watch Alf again?" And Kenny tweets back a raise your hand emoji. I don't why.
What did you not enjoy Alf?
I remember watching it. I know it's that little puppet muff thing. I don't even know what Alf actually is. Like, what is he?
He's an
What did they?
alien.
Oh, that's what he was.
Yes. So Alf stands for, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I thought it standed for like alien life form.
Oh my god! Like I never knew that.
Yeah. So like he like crashed and like found a family. You know,
And
like
he lived with his family in the suburbs, right? I
yeah,
remember that part.
yeah.
I had no idea he was an alien. I was just like, is he a Muppet? Like I didn't know. Shit.
So
Wow.
yeah. See,
But
and
still, I'm not interested in seeing this no more.
why? Why would you
My
not?
thing
It
is
was
just
that.
like, why
It was
can't we do new shows? Like everything's getting rebooted. Like I loved Will and Grace the first time. I watched a few episodes of this reboot and that was it.
okay. I get it if you're like, okay, I don't want to see reboots. There are some shows that I don't want to see rebooted as well. Martin, I have no interest in. Shows like that. But Alf, I feel like you can't really go wrong with that because it's based around a kind of cartoonish kind of character. So you can do anything really you want with.
Well, at this point, it's like, well, bring back anything. You can bring back that fucking show with the dinosaurs, like not the mama. Like, I just don't understand why we can't create new things.
You're right, but I think what's happening is you have so many spaces that need to get filled. Like there's so many different ways for people to consume content that like you have so many shows, but so many different either channels or you got Facebook and Netflix and Hulu and all this other crap that they need to buy content. So you get the hit or misses where people are like, all right, let's try this again and see if it works. I personally think that this is one that could could work.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't watch it. You can let me know how it is. I saw that they're trying to like bring back Frasier. Um, It was another show they were just talking about. Oh, they were talking about bringing back the Jeffersons, All in the
How,
Family, and something. I'm like, why the fuck we watch this shit? We still
how
watching it. It come on TV1. Why are we rebooting?
how could they bring back the Jeffersons?
I don't know. And it's like, honestly, like the shit is still in reruns. I feel like if a television show is good enough if it's in reruns. Alf has it ever been in syndication?
I may have seen it at some point in the 90s.
Okay, then we're done. Like Martin, that shit still comes on, and I still crack up laughing. Like Reverend Leon Lonnie Love, like that shit came on today because the shit is funny. But I don't need them to make a new Martin.
But there's like like you got to think like there's a new. I mean, you're probably not going to get a lot of people that's going to watch this show just because like people consume content so differently. You're not going to have kids sitting down on a Friday night.
Yeah, because
Hoping,
TGI Friday was popping.
yeah, like that doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be successful. Um, but I would watch it the first couple of episodes just for some, some lighthearted humor with an alien.
I guess wasn't it another show with an alien?
Like if they did another ET, I guarantee you ET would kill at the box office if they did another one.
I
Not to put
guess.
Alf and ET on the same plane, but I'm saying that there's a market for this random alien life form that people bring into their homes.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have I seen all of ET?
I would
That was
hope so.
Spielberg, right? I mean, I haven't seen a lot of movies. Like, I still haven't like. Oh God, now everyone's gonna like yell at me, but I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. Like, I still haven't seen all of the Wiz and shit.
Have you seen all of The Wizard of Oz?
I don't think so,
Oh,
but I know the
okay.
premise.
Are you American or I don't?
Yeah, like it's just like some shit. Like I just don't. I just haven't seen it.
That's
Name
rough.
another movie like that you feel like all Black Americans should have seen.
All Black Americans have
Yeah.
seen. I mean, I feel like at this point, I would hope everyone has seen Coming to America. I feel like that's like the quintessential.
I literally just saw someone on Facebook the other day said that they haven't seen that. And they're doing like a sequel to the shit. Like, why can't they just
Now,
leave stuff alone? I don't understand.
now that's one
But
I don't want to see. I have no interest in seeing that. Now I'm
but
gonna watch it.
you'll see fucking Alf.
Yeah, because Alf is like Alf doesn't have that same like
This is what the
meaning
twins
to
did to
me.
you.
Shut up. Like Alf doesn't mean as much to me as Coming to America does.
Well, they said that Eddie Murphy is involved in it,
I don't
which might
even
be
want him
the
to be involved.
only reason why I will even consider possibly buying a ticket to it.
I mean, everyone's gonna go. Like it doesn't matter if
Like
you
you
want to
got
see
to,
it or
because
not.
everybody
You're
gonna
gonna
talk
go.
about it.
Yeah, like you're gonna go. But I don't want to see or know what they try to spin off on it. Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
so what's a show that you feel like should be rebooted? Because I feel like all these white shows are getting rebooted.
So the two shows that I'm good if they reboot would be Girlfriends and Living Single.
Okay.
Like those are the two that I could see logistically working. Like
And
they would be able.
I'm with you there. More so girlfriends than living single. Because I don't think with girlfriends we ever got a finale.
I don't think it was ever like it wasn't
It
like
wasn't
one of those.
tied up in a bow nicely.
Yeah,
Like living single, at least we have a level of closure there that you can kind of see. But I do feel like because everyone always said girlfriends was the black Sex in the City, that I feel like we could at least get a movie. And I know as Mara Brock Akil has been doing the press for the Love Is show, she was saying that like she refused to do a girlfriend's movie, with like a weak ass budget. So if somebody was going to do like they need to come correct with an offer for her to do the Girlfriends movie, which I can respect. And I
Yeah.
think it's fucked up because Sex of the City probably I don't even want to think about the amount of money they spent on that trash ass second movie that doesn't even exist to me. Like they could have given that money to
Yeah, I never saw any of it. I had never watched the show. I never saw the movies. So
I'm not surprised by that.
yeah, yeah.
I also would not expect you to, so.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
I don't know. I was just really, really shocked by you saying that you were and you weren't alone. Someone else was like me. I want to watch it. So
And it wasn't like like every week I've been like, oh my god, I will watch Alf again. But like if it popped up, I was like, oh, that would be interesting to see how they would do that again. Just because
like no, it literally popped up, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot about that show." Like I had never like it went off the air, and I never thought about it again.
because we weren't old. Like I feel like this was I feel like it was on in the 80s.
It was like
What's it?
I mean, we were very young because when I clicked the article, I think the article said it ran from '86 to 1990.
Yeah, so which means I probably watched majority of them on reruns.
Well, I was gonna say like I think it came on. Didn't it come on? It didn't come on prime time. I felt like it came on after school, which maybe it was
No,
the
it didn't come
reruns
on no
then.
after. Yeah, I'm like this definitely came on like prime time.
Did it? Alf
Yeah,
was in prime time.
Alf was a a pretty big show. Not big, but like it was enough to get ratings. Like it was on
Damn,
NBC.
that's crazy to
It was
me.
Yeah, it was an NBC show.
I think
Let
it
me look.
was. I think
Oh,
you're
let me
right.
look. Let me look. Let me look.
But no, I think okay. I think I was definitely watching reruns then because I remember watching it after school, like Power Rangers and like Alf and shit.
Yeah, so Alf was on from 86 to 89, and each season had 26 episodes.
Yo, remember when shows had 26
Yeah,
episodes? Shows have like 13 episodes a season, if that now.
couldn't do it. The only show I could do that now is if when they try to do 24. That's about it.
Short ass seasons. And then at 24, it's like, okay, we're only going to run them from October to December, and then they go away and come back from like March to May.
Exactly, exactly. You got to give
Winter
it a
ass
break.
breaks. Like, when the fuck they start doing that? Like, TV is so different now.
That's because we can't focus.
We absolutely cannot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so bad. Like, my attention span is such trash. I
I
feel bad. Like I acknowledge it, but I don't know how to rectify it either.
yeah, like I'll be reading one article and like something will be inside the article and trigger me to want to look up something else, and then I'll go off on a completely different tangent of reading something else, and then I have 10 tabs open when I was just trying
Yeah.
to read one article.
I think it's literally just because we have access to so much information.
Yeah,
The one
that's
thing
it.
I said, and I think you and I had talked about this before, the one thing I am gonna do, and I should do it like today because it's August 1st. Um, I said I was gonna like turn off all the notifications on my phone.
Oh, yeah, you
Cause
did
I
say
think that's the biggest thing that also kills my attention span. Cause I could be in one app, it pop up at the top like, oh, Instagram, like, oh, who liked it? And then I'm in Instagram. And then as I'm on Instagram, then I get a text and I'm like, oh, text. Like, so I was gonna turn off notifications on my phone.
Did you hear? I forget who said this, or maybe I read it somewhere that Instagram times the notifications so that like say you post something, right, and
Mhm.
like five people will like it at the same time, they don't notify you or let you know that somebody has liked that. They time it so that you're
No,
continually.
that is absolutely true because earlier today I had posted something and I was still in the app. So I saw the little heart come up 3 times. I looked, saw who those 3 people were, and went back to scrolling. So later, I was actually doing some work and I had my phone down because I was listening to a podcast. And then my phone went off and it was a notifications and it was one of those people that I had originally seen. The notification popped up like so and so
Mhm.
liked your post. I mean, it's actually in like pretty genius And the
Yes.
podcast that I was listening to today, they were making a point. It was the Friend Zone. They were saying that like how they were watching an episode of Seinfeld's Coffee in Cars with Comedians, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
He was saying how he doesn't let his kids use the internet.
A lot of rich people don't.
And they were saying why. And he was like, because Zuckerberg and all of those people don't let their kids use the internet, and they peddle the internet at us all day fucking long, and they don't even let their kids
Yeah.
use it.
It's all the form of it's all the form of mind control. Like it's
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
It's
When I heard
but
that,
it
I
is
was like,
crazy like
that's crazy.
how like I'm a slave to this iPhone, and yeah.
Yeah, I had that one app that they're doing the update on, like to let you know how much you're using each app or whatever. Yeah. So I had
Are you
that. I had that.
disgusted?
Well, I was, and I ended up eventually getting rid of the app just because I
Like fuck you for telling me how much I use my phone.
yeah, like it's giving me notifications every day. Like your screen time has been X, Y, and Z, and I'm just like, I just don't
Oh.
want it.
But
I
I
don't
think
want it.
about it like I literally like every morning almost my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I grab my phone and I hit snooze and then I open it, my phone, and
Hmm.
I check my notifications. Like mind you, I hit snooze though. And I see if there's anything I'm like pressing. Like, oh, look at this email. I might read that email and then I'll turn my phone off, roll back over, and then I close my eyes and then my alarm is going off again and I hit snooze again.
Yeah.
Like it's so I'm like I start at 5 a.m. to possibly depending on the day 11, 12 at night.
Yeah, I see. I do during the middle of the night, so like I'll start at like 2:30, 3 o'clock
What are you
because
doing?
shut up. So like we have like where I work, we have an office that's in um like in New Delhi in India. So like emails start coming in at like 2:33 in the morning. So like I'll see and I'll be like, oh, is this anything important? Blah 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 blah. And then I'll wipe them out. Normally don't even open those, but then that'll lead me to check the notifications and something else before I go back to sleep. Like it's not like
Wow.
it's not like I'm really consuming it, but I'm at least taking a look at it and seeing like, oh, okay, what's going on? Is this anything important that I want to see? And it may lead to like 10 minutes of me checking my phone 3 o'clock in the morning before I go back to sleep. I do this probably at least once a night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably not healthy.
No, not
Well,
at all.
I
That's
know
the
it's
thing,
not.
like once I'm asleep, I'm usually asleep.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like I'm not like I'm not one of them people that wake up and like stay up for like an hour, 2 hours.
Oh
Like I
God bless
can't.
those
Yeah,
people. Like I don't even
yeah.
open my eyes. Like sometimes I sleep so hard, like I literally have to tell myself, like, you have in the dream, like, oh, I'm peeing. But it's like, oh bitch, run to the
No, you
bathroom.
need to get up.
Like I really can sleep like really well. That's the one thing because you're a parent. That is
Yeah.
the one thing that, my greatest concern about a baby is if that motherfucker does not sleep.
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean,
I really love sleep. And I remember when I used to like watch this other baby overnight, I literally it would be laying right there and I wouldn't hear it crying. Like my mom would have to come in the room and like get the baby. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not hear this? Maybe it's
yeah.
different when you push it out yourself and you are connected to it. But I literally didn't hear the child.
I mean, you will, because one, I mean, when they're a little baby, you'll have the little monitor, and you'll get it. It flips. Like before, I could sleep through anything, and like when I had them, it was like, all right, cool. You hear something, all right, cool. Let's pop up. And because like when we started, we were doing like the sleep training, and we had them on like a pretty tight schedule. Like we were, when they would make noise, I would hop up, get one, feed them, put them back to sleep, get the other one, feed them, put them back to sleep, take
Mm.
my ass back to sleep.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
yeah,
You
you're
can't
gonna
never complain about kids to you because your ass did too. So it's gonna be like, shut your bitch ass up.
like, oh, I'm so tired. I had this I get yeah, like I get it. I'm compassionate, but at the same time,
No,
I'm like,
you aren't.
I know. Listen. No. Don't say that. I am very compassionate to people that have one child. I just try to imagine if I had one child, I'd probably just be sitting there like, I don't have anything to do. Like I just be like, oh, cool.
You be judgmental as shit. Like, man,
Like,
you only
this
got
is
that one
boring.
weak ass
Like,
baby. We did this shit with
like,
you. You like them parents. We like, well, back in my day.
yeah. Be like, when people be complaining, like, what are you like? Come on, dog. Like, listen, you be all right. Like, I'm not even tired, and I got two boys that destroy everything. So,
Yeah, they're
um,
so active now. God bless you.
yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.
So speaking of black men,
No,
well, I
yeah.
don't even know if these people were black. Maybe they were Hispanic, but they were brown. The photo of the baseball players who were hugging in the dugout. Well, they weren't hugging, but the one guy was like consoling the other player. Did you see that?
Yeah, I definitely saw it. It was so yeah, I heard a lot. I heard a couple things about it. At first, it was like, okay, the dudes. There was a rumor that the person's mom died or something like that, and then I saw that that wasn't technically true, and they were just, consoling each other in the dugout. So it was a very interesting video, I would say.
So no one knows what the cause of it.
What the cause of it was. Um, so I don't. I mean, you know, people do and show emotions how they do it, however they feel comfortable. I'm not going to knock them for doing it, but I will say that if I have a death in the family or if something happens or whatever and one of my boys tried to like caress their fingers through my scalp, I don't know, like that's just not the way that I go about embracing
Okay.
for me personally.
So the thing was, I saw the picture and it was through a quick scroll. I didn't read all of the caption because, like I said, my attention span. But when I saw it, I was kind of appreciative of it because you generally don't see that imagery of men, one, and then I don't know if they were black or Hispanic or whatever, but men of color. And so
Yeah.
to see that, I thought that's dope. And then I kept scrolling, but I didn't for me
I
it
think
wasn't
I think
necessary
you'll
to
have to
know
see
any
the
background behind
video.
it.
I think you'll have to see the video because the picture just shows them kind of like hugging. But
Yeah, that's
there's a
how what I
video,
saw.
yeah. There's a video that it's like he's like there's the hugging portion of it, but then he's also like rubbing his hands through his hair. That's the
Okay.
portion I was just like, yeah, no, I'm
That's
like
what made you
I'm
uncomfortable.
and not even uncomfortable. Like, all right, cool. If that's how y'all do it, that's how you do it. That's cool. But for me personally, I'm not. That's not of interest to me for another guy to rub their fingers through my hair. Well, not my hair because I ain't got none, but my scalp. um, that was just like, and I feel like I guess my issue is that when when a man like if a man comes out and says, "Oh yeah, that's not something that I would do," or like that's not like I would never have that happen to me, that is automatically that guy is now
Well,
categorized as being homophobic.
yeah, well
When
here no, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
when I don't like for me when I see that I'm like, all right, cool. If that's how you do it, Like if that's how you and your boys embrace, cool, that's nice. But like if me and me and Rick were like to embrace, like I would never rub my fingers through his hair.
Okay.
And
So it wasn't the embrace for you, it was the continued affection. Now, here's the thing that I was going to say. And I know that this is like the buzzword that's thrown around a lot. And I usually, buzzwords make me roll my eyes. But the toxic masculinity, right? Because I know
I
some
hate that.
think piece
God,
is
I
going
hate
to
this
say
stuff.
that, right? And so I went to the shade room because they have everything. And I see the video. And I can see how, because of toxic masculinity, someone came up with the narrative. Like, to make this okay, something so tragic had to happen to this man to make it okay for this grown colleague of his, friend, whatever, to console him in such a way that he is running his finger, he's playing in his hair.
Yeah, he's
Now the
playing.
point that I'm gonna say is, like, okay, you flip it to the double standard, women do this all the time.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
so for me, like, again, I get the context now and seeing the video because I had just saw the picture. Um yeah, like, I don't see what the conversation is about that. Like, I get why it is, but it's like, Jesus, like you said, if you choose to show affection and yours is like, okay, I'm just gonna pat you on the back and not caress your hair, that's fine.
Yeah,
If you're gonna caress his hair, that's fine too. But I think it's something deeper there. And it might not be toxic masculinity, but it's like how men handle emotion.
yeah,
And I was saying this to someone last night, in the fact that, like, I don't think it's that men don't handle emotion, and that's their problem. So when they're dealing with emotions, they just keep it bottled up or whatever, and they can't express it. But even seeing the video, I still think it's kind of dope that they felt comfortable enough, no matter whatever the situation is,
hey,
to sit there in the dugout and, hey, homie, come here.
yeah. I don't agree with the people that are like, oh no, that's that's gay or
That's
whatever. Yeah,
gay.
yeah.
Yeah, like, that's
Like
whack.
nah, that's not cool. But like to say that, like I don't like it when people say that because a guy would not do something like that, that that in turn,
Okay,
you know,
that you're homophobic
that I'm
because,
homophobic
yeah.
because I don't agree with that.
But I
Not even
do.
agree. Like that is just not.
That's just not how you
Yeah,
express
that's not.
yourself.
Yeah, that's not my form
Yeah,
of
and
expression.
but I do think it is something like Jesus. Like, I'm scrolling through some of the comments on
Oh yeah, that
the
is
Shaver post, and um yeah, I mean, it is. People are like, oh, well, they are in Atlanta. Like, so again, making the inference like, oh, they have to be gay because
yeah,
that's the only way you do that. But I do think to see that image, for some, could be amazingly powerful.
it could be. Yes.
And for me, it was just like, oh, that's dope. I mean, it's like, that's cool. But I mean, almost every other comment on this post makes some crack at Atlanta or some crack at them being gay.
Yeah, yeah. So like,
Like, literally every other comment is like, well, it's Atlanta. Ain't no fool running his hands through my head. Like,
yeah,
calm down.
yeah. Like, and like I said, like I would probably be taken aback if someone was to do that. I'm personally not even
But
gonna
I
I'd be
could
like,
see that. Cause, like, for me too, it might not be that. It might be if you hugged me and ran your hands across the bottom of my back. Like, certain ways you touch somebody, you might not feel comfortable with
yeah,
that from certain people, and that's fine.
yeah. Like I mean, because like if I was to do that to a female, like I don't know like how that would be taken. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just like hugging her, like
And
giving a
yeah,
female a hug, and then I start rubbing my hands through her hair.
Yeah, I mean,
How
and then
does
that
that?
has a different
You know what I mean?
connotation.
Yeah, yeah,
That might be then a sexual connotation,
yeah,
like, ooh, he's he's turned on, he's doing whatever.
yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
I guess there's
yeah, I mean,
context to
I don't see
everything.
what the big deal is, but I see why people are talking about it
Yeah,
because of the society that we live in. But I thought it was dope that they felt comfortable enough to express themselves in that manner, knowing the world that they are in and they were going to get backlash.
yeah,
But the point that I am noticing through these comments on the post on the Shade Room is that way more of the homophobic or the comments about them being gay are from women
really. That's interesting.
perpetuating, like, then maybe that's why men don't feel comfortable because if they do express themselves or show some type of emotion or vulnerability, then they get labeled gay by
Yeah,
women.
yeah, you're right. Trust me. Listen, I want to. There's probably at least 17 times a day that I want to go into the shade room comments and just call people idiots, but I can't
I
because
mean, you can't do that. You cannot engage in such a manner on the internet with these people because you will go crazy.
listen, me and Sheikah engaged last week, and I got called a rapist.
I saw that and I was like, what is happening here?
I'm just like I don't know what just happened. It went from nothing to 20 minutes later me being called a rapist and that she prays for my victims. I have no idea what happened. It was
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you right now in front of the entire Boonie Breakdown audience. I love you to death. I've known you since we were 10 years old. But if allegations of rape came out against you, I'm not going to pull no Angela Rye.
dang, that's crazy.
I'm gonna ask, and I'm taking this because I listened to the Friends on the day, and last week their little hashtag was "Please respect my privacy at this time." That's what I would say to reporters.
Dang. I would expect you to have a emergency pod the next day denouncing all allegations against me. That is the type of friendship that I expect. Even
I have just learned through all of these scandals that it is best to just ask people to respect your privacy because you're not gonna win.
oh my god, like something's gonna come out that's gonna like even if it has
Like,
nothing.
I'll send some meals to the house for you and the family or something. And be like, I love you, homie. I don't know. I mean, of course, I do not believe that is in your
No,
character.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, like, I was kind of getting a little, I was hit my limit of Angela. I was about to say Angela Yee, but Angela Rye content. And so I just never envisioned that that would be the hill that she was going to die on.
yeah,
Never. And it's amazing that I feel like she caught more heat than actual Charlemagne's
yeah. He got up.
shit he
Yeah,
said.
he got up out of that.
Yeah. Like he really skirted by that amazingly. And I'm not a big fan of his. Um So it didn't make me no matter mind if people canceled him or not. It would be easy because I don't really actively support anything that he
Yeah,
does. But yeah, he looks like he made a statement. His wife made a statement, and he still got his HBO deal. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he got out of that. I mean, I mean, he stated that looking back on it and now hearing from people that because you don't consume the podcast, so
I
he
don't.
he had I forget the guy's name. It's some guy that's like I guess big on Twitter and he writes books and he's like uh, there. I don't even know if it's like a therapist or whatever, but But yeah, he basically held, Charlemagne to task about like the things that he said and like the tone that he used. And he brought him on the podcast this past week and didn't have Andrew Schultz on there. And basically was
Gotcha.
coming on to say, looking back at it, I shouldn't have used X, Y, and Z tone, or I shouldn't have used these words, or, I probably wouldn't have been in the situation had I not phrased or, said the things that I said in the way that I said them. So there's learn. I mean, like even over the past 6 months since like Charlemagne has been, his financials have increased. He has limited the amount of things that he says, but you knew eventually some of the stuff was going to come back to bite him that he said back in the day, and I mean it definitely did. So I mean, not to say
Well,
like,
at least he was aware.
yeah, he was aware of it.
And yeah, I mean, she caught way more flack than he did, which isn't that how it always goes.
Yeah, that's always how it goes.
So, all right, Kenny. Well, thanks for coming
Hey,
on.
anytime, I'm not, the most popular guest,
Oh my gosh, shut up.
you call me here and there. You have big time guests now, that come on. You know,
We climbing
yeah,
on up.
you're moving up the charts. So, you guys will hear from me probably again in season 7, maybe.
Shut up.
Maybe, but I will say that my consulting services are available, as you can tell based off of last week's episode. That
I knew you were gonna do
Boonie has
this.
had some breakthroughs in her life. Um, that I will take at least 92% of the credit for. So if you are in need of life breakthroughs, relationship breakthroughs, um, I am here to serve. And you know what? I don't even really charge. I'm just here to make sure that people are fulfilling their lives in the way that they should. So
You know, I will say, Kenneth has talked me off of many a ledge this year.
you know,
A many.
I'm just all about the growth.
And so
You know,
he gives really good advice. I try to take it. I try. And sometimes I don't
yeah.
listen. And then I'm like, man, I should have listened.
But, I
But he is he has steered me well this year.
and I'm available. Just because we're hoping, we're hoping by you know the last quarter of 2018 that you know Booney is moving in a stronger direction. Um, so I
Towards what?
listen. I ain't gonna put your business out there, but
Oh, because you should see my face if you can see my face.
we're progressing in the right direction. So I will have some free time, some available, mentoring hours, that I'm available if you need me. You can reach me via Twitter, and/or if we connect, I will give you my personal email address if you do need.
Oh, he giving out the personal. Well, let me just say, to bring this whole conversation full circle, do not use this as an opportunity to make your
Oh, shut
end
up.
and mess up my happy home.
All right, how
Because I will cut
do
it.
you end this pod? Good night.
Bye, Kenny. Thanks again to Kenny for coming on the podcast. He knows I love him, but I mean, when I say don't start no shit, won't be none. Okay, ladies? He's so gonna kill me. But if you are a hoe and you want to wear your Home I Say t-shirt, be sure to head over to theboonieBreakdown.com/shop and use the code Boonie10, Boonie10 for 10% off your orders this week. That is my thank you to you, and I appreciate the support. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or any app that you listen to your podcast on. Don't forget to leave a review too. You might just hear your review on the next episode, okay? Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I don't make those pretty images for nothing. Have a dope ass week, guys. Thank you for listening. Until next time.